How's it going, champions? Sometimes when people start a video, they do, like a dramatic pause and a sigh thing at the start to sort of build tension or pretend they're sad or something. But this is a big one. This is a big one. Um, I, well, I don't even know where to begin. So obviously, this is about Peter Cullen, the voice of my childhood, has passed away. Um, I so I found out about it. The past couple of nights I've had trouble sleeping, and this night I was going to bed at a normal time and was lying in bed and just drifting off to sleep. I was like, I just need to go to the toilet. So I quickly popped up, and on my way back to bed, I'm like, I'll just look at my phone just 'cause I don't know why not. And it was the first thing I seen. So clearly, I have not been back to bed. Now, I have seen tons and tons and tons of videos literally within the past couple of hours, and I, I want to talk, I want to make a video, I want to do something, but I don't know what to say that other people haven't said. And if you're watching this, there's probably a fair chance, you're a Transformers fan. So there's not much I can say that you don't know. I can tell stories about Peter, and I will, but you'll probably, you'll know them. And there was a part of me that was like, well, what's the point of me doing this? Because, people are going to know, and there's other people that make videos and they can do it way better than me. So it's almost like, what's the point? But at the end of the day, I tend to make videos when I need to talk. So I, I'm talking. And yeah, so I'm going to tell stories about Peter, like, the audition story and how he did Predator and all that sort of stuff. But so obviously, if you know them, I just invite you to listen and enjoy them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you're in for a pretty cool story. But the other part of this is I was like, okay, what can I add to this video? And the only thing I could add is me and my story growing up in the 80s, because on the surface it's going to seem dumb, a 44-year-old man talking about some guy that played a robot truck that he never met somehow changed his life. But the thing is, everyone's telling these stories. So I'm like, if it's not just me, then this means something. And I just want, in some small way, to add something to it. Now, I decided I was going to give it a little bit of time and sit down, and I wanted to make something really professional. Something thought out and scripted and edited together really well. But I just need to get these thoughts out, which is probably selfish. I don't know, but I just want to talk, and I don't know if I'm going to use footage. I always worry about using footage because it's like copyright or whatever. So it's either me going to be telling the story, or I'll cut in stuff. I don't know. Poor future Justin will have to deal with that. But so let's just start off with Peter, and then I'll talk about how all this affected me and my life and whatever. And I apologize for the rambling because that's just what this is going to be. So yeah, so Peter played a ton of voices that were a part of my life. Obviously, the biggest being Optimus Prime, and we'll get to how he became Optimus Prime in a second. But there's so many. He was Optimus Prime. He was Eeyore. He was what's his name? Monterey Jack in Chippendale Rescue Rangers. He was a bad guy in Ninja Turtles, and then he obviously reprised Prime later on in the Bay movies. and Transformers Prime and the War for Cybertron games and all that. But the and again, this is a story. If you're a Transformers fan, you know this, but it's it's a really powerful story. So when he was auditioning for Prime, he said that he was, at not a great place in his life, and he was living with his brother, and his brother was in the Marines. I think his brother was a captain. Also, just quickly, there will be inaccuracy in these stories, and I apologize to any Transformers fan. It's just, yeah, I'm rambling. So anyway, yeah, so his brother would always sort of check in on him and see how he was going. And this day he come in and he's like, "Hey Peter, how you going? Like, what are you up to today?" And Peter's like, "Oh, I've um, I've got an audition." He's like, "Okay, what are you going to be?" And he went, "I'm going to be a truck." And his brother's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he's like, "No, but he's a leader. He's a hero. This truck." And his brother got really, really serious. And I cannot convey this story as well as Peter told it. And maybe I'll cut this in, I don't know. But his brother got very serious and he went, "Peter, if you're going to be a hero, don't be one of these, you know, macho, heroes in movies, the Hollywood hero. Be a, be a real hero. A real hero is brave." I can't even do it. Grow up, man, grow up. A real hero is brave enough to be gentle.
Peter, if you're going to be a hero, be a real hero. Don't be a Hollywood hero type with all the BS and all the yelling and screaming and trying to be tough. Be strong enough to be gentle. Well, Kalar, yeah. So as his voice is ringing in my ears as I'm driving to the audition, and I read the copy, and Larry is just coming out. His voice, the way he talked to me, and it said, I'm Optimus Prime. No, it was, my name is Optimus Prime.
And I think that's something so powerful, man. And so Peter said when he went to the audition, it was basically his brother's words, and everything came out in him. And that was the voice of Optimus Prime. And I mean, again, you'd be a Transformers fan if you're watching this, but if somehow you haven't, Transformers isn't. It's a kids show, but it's something else, and it's largely because of the cast. It's not just Peter. It was the creme de la creme of 80s, uh, you know, 80s voiceover artists. It's at the end of the day. Look, let's be honest. It is a 30-minute cartoon to sell toys. That's what it is. But they elevated it. They elevated it to something so much more. And that's the thing when you listen to Peter deliver the lines. Like obviously he didn't write the lines, right? But it's the way he delivers it. And it's literally in his brother's words. There is a strength, but there's also this gentleness. And at the end of the day, there was there was no better role model for a little boy in the 80s. And obviously girls too, but it's a different time. It was more boys watch this and girls watch this, and that's not everyone. But the point is, it's like so many people talk about that. So many people talk about him being at least I know I'm not the only one crying. There's so many kids from the 80s that talk about him being a genuine influence in their life. And the thing is, like in the 80s, like divorce and stuff was really big, and there was, a lot of kids that lived in, separated homes or didn't, you know, have their fathers around. And I never met my father. And as lame as it sounds, man, I'm sure some people are watching this video and laughing, and that's fine, man. But it was he was the closest thing that I had to, like, I don't want to say a father, but like a male role model. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect human being, but if there's anything that is good in me, it largely came from that performance and this man that I never met. And I'm so grateful for that. I know I'm kind of rambling, but this is the performance. This is what he did for kids, man. There was, like, this wasn't a job. This meant so much to him as the years went on. And like, look at me, man. Like, again, I'm 44. I'm sitting here crying over a guy I didn't meet. I'm wearing a Transformers shirt, surrounded by Transformers stuff, man. Here, this this is a Transformer card that my auntie made for me last year. This is not a card from my childhood, man. And it's just, again, I'm kind of rambling and I don't know where to go with this, but it truly feels like my childhood has died. And again, it's, like I said, he was just this influence that, like, I don't know anyone else. I don't know any other celebrity. I don't know any other voice actor that has done this. Like, I talk about, again, so I'm snorting everywhere. Being a kid in the 80s and Prime almost being the closest thing to a father I had, but so many other people feel like this. And there's interviews where, Peter talks about this. He talks about, you know, grown ass men meeting him and thanking him for everything that he did. And I wish I could have done that. I really, I really wish I could have done that. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It just the thing that sort of upsets me the most. Like, I'm sitting here and this person has died, but it's a few years ago. I was having almost like an argument with a friend because I was talking about Transformers. I'm like, yeah, Transformers is great and Prime's great and woo. And he's like, what are you talking about, man? It's a stupid movie, right? It's just a big summer blockbuster. What the hell are you talking about? And that's the thing is with the movies that came out, Peter voiced them and it's great and I was so happy that he was a part of it. But it's a whole different thing. It's a different Prime. It's almost an angry Prime. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but I know for a fact Peter himself wasn't. He was a little bit critical of the writing and stuff. Like, I literally remember I don't know if it's in the third movie. There's like um they're going after the Decepticons and Prime's just like, we will kill them all, and I'm like, that's not Prime. That's not that gentleness, Anyway, so my mate was just like, nah, it's a stupid movie. And I'm like, no, come here. And literally sit down and I show him Prime's death scene from the original movie. And I'm like, this, because it's as sad as it is, it's a beautiful scene. And it has weight and there's a subtleness to it and everything. And I'm like, this is what's important. He's like, yeah, okay, I kind of get it. But the point that I'm getting at, and I've fumbled my way through this, is they don't make actors like this anymore. They don't make characters like this anymore. And more importantly, they don't make role models like this anymore. You know, he meant, and this role meant so much to a generation of grown ass people that are literally crying. I've seen video after video after video of blokes bawling, right? But that's because he was a role model. And there's no other show like that now for kids. Everyone's just on YouTube. Ironically, I know I'm doing this, but I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a fat guy with a webcam talking, right? Kids don't have the role model that we had. Like, this character, this actor, defined any part of goodness that's within me, and I genuinely mean that. And now that's gone. And I don't think there's anyone else for kids now for that, you know. So this sucks. This really, really sucks. One thing I'm happy about is it does seem like it was just his time. You know, I mean, I don't know what happened. All I've read is that I think it might have been a day ago. It could have even been the same day as Tim Curry and Dolly Parton. Like, the Grim Reaper really needs to take a break. Um, but it seems like he was, he was with his family, and that's cool. It wasn't like a sickness or anything. So that's really, really cool. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. It just sucks. A part of me is really died. I was okay for a while. I was okay, and I read the thing, and I was sad, and I even teared up a bit. And then I just watched some video of some guy, and he just had all this footage of Peter talking, doing Prime's voice, and I lost it, man. I'm not too proud to admit I absolutely lost it, and I don't know what to do now. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch Transformers. You know, that's my little tribute. I watched it for 5 minutes and I turned it off. I can't do it. The really cool thing is though is I think it's a couple of months, might be next month. There's the 40th anniversary of the movie's coming out, so I'll go see that. And I think that there's some extra stuff in it, so that'll be that'll be really cool. One thing is I've got snot going everywhere. I'm sorry, but yeah. So they did a new soundtrack for the movie, which I literally got today of all things. And everything's completely like redone. I like it. I think it's really good. But there's a track called "Death of Optimus Prime," and I definitely won't be listening to that for a while. Um, so yeah, my videos always ramble on at the end, and I'm sorry, but the one thing I want to add is, and I genuinely and sincerely mean this: if you're a parent and you've got kids, well, obviously you've got kids if you're a parent. Go show them Transformers, the original one. Show them Prime. Show them a real hero, a real role model. Yeah, that's get them off their phones, get them off YouTube. Stop listening to me. Go, go watch Transformers with your kids. Yeah. All right. See you, champions.